guys, it's Alice, and today it is time to take a look at the books I acquired in February. We're going to start with the fiction books, and the first one I have is one that I've wanted to read for a long time, and it is Carol by Patricia Highsmith. I kind of just want to read this because I know it's about two women who fall in love, and I think it's set in a time when that was not deemed okay by society, and I just feel like this is a cult classic. I also know that it is at least a little bit based on a true story, and I also know that there is a movie out and I really want to watch it, but I want to read the book first. If any of you guys have seen the movie though, I would love to know what you thought of it. Secondly, we have got Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. This is another book that I've wanted to read for a while because supposedly this is the first science fiction novel that was ever written by a black woman, or at least the first one that was published, and people say it's really, really good. It's about this woman who lives in California in 1976, and she keeps, for some reason, traveling back in time, and every time that happens, she runs into the same boy or man, and I don't know, I just think it sounds really good, and I think I'm really going to like it. Next, we have got Ponti by Charlene Teo. This is a beautiful edition of this book. I love this cover. It's a literary fiction novel set in Singapore, and it's about this girl who lives with her mother, who is quite an interesting and maybe a little eccentric person, and then this girl becomes unlikely friends with someone who I think affords her a way out of this life that she has with her mom. I also know that this is the kind of story where the story is told from multiple different perspectives, which is something that I really like. Then we have got another science fiction book, and it is The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. This is a dystopian novel set on an island where they have something called memory police, who mess with people's memories, like objects go missing, and I'm assuming maybe people do too. And some people on this island still remember, and I think we follow one of those people. And it must be a very scary place to be for the people who know that this is going on, and I just think it sounds so good. Next, I've got a YA book that I've heard so many good things about this book, I just decided to give it a go, and it is Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. This is fantasy, and it's set after a war, and it's about this girl who is a decoy for the last princess on the losing side. And then I think the winner, some dude, demands that the princess marry him, but then I think they send the decoy instead. At least I think that's what it's about. Apparently, this is supposed to draw inspiration from Bolivian history and politics, so sounds pretty cool. Last of the fiction, we have got A Snicker of Magic by Natalie Lloyd. This is a middle grade magical realism novel set in this place that used to be very magical, but then some curse drove all of the magic away, and we meet this 12-year-old girl who may just be able to bring all of this magic back. And I just thought this sounded like an easy and magical little read, and it just sounds really nice. Then the last three books I've got are nonfiction, and the first one is The Misfits Manifesto by Lydia Yuknavitch. Not gonna lie, I kind of just picked this up without really looking into it. I just saw the cover and the title in a bookshop, so I just got it. Usually I do a little bit of research into the books that I buy, but every once in a while it's fun to just sort of get something a little bit at random. I'm pretty sure this is a memoir though, and it's sort of about carving your own path and maybe not fitting in that well and being a little bit eccentric maybe, and to me, that sounds great. Then I've got a book that was recommended to me by a couple of you guys, and it is Factfulness by Hans Rosling. This says it contains 10 reasons we're wrong about the world and why things are better than you think. And it sort of takes a look at different global issues and clears up misconceptions that a lot of people have about that. And I think that sounds really interesting. I read quite a lot of fascinating nonfiction books that are also kind of depressing, and I feel like this is going to be a good sort of opposite to that and be interesting, but also maybe a little bit uplifting, which I think I need. Lastly, we've got this very little book that I think a lot of us have seen around, and it is No One Is Too Small to Make a Difference by Greta Thunberg. It always feels a little bit weird to say her name in English, because in Norwegian I would say Greta Thunberg, which I feel like is probably closer to the way you're supposed to pronounce it because she's Swedish. Either way, this is a little collection of some of her speeches, and I don't know, I just thought it would be a cool thing to read. Okay guys, those are all the books that I had to talk about today. Let me know if you have picked up any exciting new books lately, or if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, and I will see you soon. Bye!